and OSU students and Beaver fans. We begin with KEZI 9 Sports Director Jake Zivin standing by live in Corvallis tonight. Jake?
Yeah, Matt and Renee, when the University of Nebraska's Twitter account broke the news this morning, my reaction, I think, was the same as a lot of people. Before I retweet this, I need to make sure that their account wasn't hacked. It was that big of a surprise to me and to everybody. Mike Riley was the head coach at Oregon State for 14 years, in 1997 and 1998, and then now for the past 12 years in Corvallis. He had what many called a lifetime contract. A year was automatically added to the end of it every time the Beavers made a bowl game. Currently, that was through 2021. He has in the past said that he couldn't see himself anywhere but Corvallis. But today, in a statement, said that the Nebraska job is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. His players, as surprised as we were.
When I transferred, I thought it would be one place I'd never have to see the head coach go, but you know, things happen. I'm happy for Coach Riley, and I think he'll do well at the Nebraska program. You know, they have the talent, and I mean, if he's ready to move on, you can't be mad at him for that.
I think I was a little shocked. I think everyone in here was shocked. But, you know, that's life. People got to make decisions, and best of luck to Coach Riley.
I don't think we feel blindsided. We just, you know, we're saddened and we're kind of shocked, but at the same time, we, you know, like I'll reiterate, we love the guy, and, you know, no one's mad about it. We just, you know, it just sucks.
In a statement, OSU Athletic Director Bob DeCarolis said today, although we are extremely disappointed of losing a person and coach the caliber of Mike Riley, we are happy for him regarding his new opportunity. We wish Mike, Dee, and their family the best as his career begins a new chapter. Coach Riley has twice led a program with integrity to new heights and tremendous growth. The entire university owes him a well-deserved thank you. We are excited about the future for the loyal fans and donors of Beaver Nation as we launch our search for the next coach of our football program. Mike Riley's plane is scheduled to land in Lincoln, Nebraska right now at 5:01 Pacific time. He's then going to go straight to their athletic facilities and meet with his new team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Coming up next hour on KEZI 9 News at 6, I'll give a little insight into his meeting with his former team, what he said to his Beaver players this morning when he broke the news to them. Live outside of Research Stadium in Corvallis, I'm Jake Zivin, KEZI 9 Sports.
All right.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers. We begin tonight with KEZI 9 Sports Director Jake Zivin with how Riley's now former players are taking the news. Jake?
Matt and Renee, on what was a gray and gloomy day here in Corvallis, shock, I think, is the prevailing feeling, not only here at Research Stadium, but across this entire campus at Oregon State University. Nobody saw this coming, not me or anyone in the media, not Mike Riley's former players, and not even anybody in Nebraska. Mike Riley was the head coach at Oregon State for 14 years, in 1997 and 1998, and then after a short stint with the San Diego Chargers for the past 12 seasons, starting again in 2003. Many of his now former players woke up to a text message about a team meeting this morning, but had no idea that this is what it would be about. A lot of those players found out through Twitter or ESPN even before they were told by Mike Riley at that meeting. It sounded like a short meeting, but one that his now former players are at peace with.
We had a team meeting, and he came in and talked to us, which I was surprised. I didn't think he would do that. I don't think a lot of head coaches do that when they leave, but he came in, he told us how he really felt, and I mean, as bad as it is for him to leave, he made me feel the best I could about him leaving.
No, he did say that, you know, he spent a lot of time, you know, thinking, praying about it, and you know, it's hard for any head coach to leave like that, but you know, I trust his judgment and his, you know, thought process in the decision.
Right now, Mike Riley is at another team meeting. He's supposed to be, at least this one, in Lincoln, Nebraska. Our Nebraska affiliates are there outside of the Nebraska Athletic Department. We will bring you what we can on KEZI 9 News at 11 from Lincoln. Guys, to say the least, a shocking day here at Oregon State. Live in Research Stadium, outside of Research Stadium in Corvallis, I'm Jake Zivin, KEZI 9 Sport.
Now, KEZI 9 Sports with Kristen Rogers. Well, Oregon State giveth to the Big Ten, and they taketh away as well. Former Wisconsin head coach Gary Andersen was named the new head coach at Oregon State earlier today. Andersen is the 28th head coach in Oregon State history. He is 49-38 overall in 7 years as a head coach and has posted 4 consecutive winning seasons. Under Andersen this season, Wisconsin is ranked 17th in the AP poll and 18th in the college football playoff rankings. 4 Badgers, including Heisman candidate Melvin Gordon, earned first-team All-League honors. After leaving Utah State, Andersen was a semifinalist for the Maxwell Coach of the Year award his first season at Wisconsin. The biggest statistic that jumps out here, though, Oregon State lost a coach that went 5-7, and they're gaining one that went 10-3. Andersen is 30-9 in his last 3 years as a head coach. In 2012, he led Utah State to an 11-win season, and this fall, he won 10 games with Wisconsin. Mike Riley did lead the Beavers to a 9-3 season in 2012 after going 3-9 in 2011. Riley is 21-17 in his last 3 years at Oregon State. Other numbers to look at here: under Andersen, the Badgers were ranked 7 in total defense, 18 in total offense, and 6 in scoring defense. Andersen will be introduced this Friday at 1:30 at the Valley Football Center. The event is open to the public. And earlier today, Oregon State offensive lineman Sean Harlow tweeted that all he wanted for Christmas was a head coach, and just hours later, Christmas came early for the Beavers. The players took to Twitter to express their excitement about their new head coach. Defensive lineman Jalen Grimble was the first in the Twitter sphere saying, "Gary Andersen, welcome to Corvallis. Next head coach, Wisconsin." The wide receivers also got in on the action. Ramel Dockery also tweeted out, "Welcome to Beaver Nation, Coach Andersen. Go Beavs." And Jordan Villeman, obviously shocked, tweeting just whoa. He did follow up welcoming Andersen to Corvallis as well. Quarterback Luke Del Rio tweeted, "Great move, OSU, excited for the future." Caleb Smith added, "Good move, let's get to work." Finally, Lai Moivau tweeted, "It's going to be a very Merry Gary Christmas." The coaching hire came less than an hour after Oregon State announced a $42 million renovation project to the Valley Football Center. The project, called Victory Through Valley, will expand the locker rooms, equipment rooms, and add a concourse connecting the east and west sides of Reser. The project is set to complete fall of 2016.
All told, Oregon State has invested more than $200 million in athletic facilities over this period. And we are not done.
This was going to be a world-class facility. And that from now on, at least on my watch, everything we do is going to be world-class. And it's not just about facilities. It's about programs. It's about the people we bring here.
Taking on Minnesota tonight, LA joining other NBA players wearing an "I Can't Breathe" shirt, referencing the last words a New York man said after a police officer put him in a chokehold. Seconds left in the third. Minnesota up by 12. Timberwolves get the ball to Corey Brewer, buries the 3 right before the buzzer. First 3-pointer of the night for Minnesota. Timberwolves up by 4 in the fourth, and Thaddeus Young with the jump hook in the paint over LA. Minnesota up 78-72. 3 minutes left in the game, and it's Andrew Wiggins with the pull-up jumper to make it a 9-point game. Wiggins having a night with 23 points and 10 rebounds. So Portland's streak ends at 5 straight games. Lillard leads the Blazers with 23 points and 7 rebounds tonight.
To any doubters, I want you to know that when you come to play Oregon State anywhere, and especially here in our house, you better bring your A game, or we're going to kick your butts.
Wow, that was Oregon State President Ed Ray, clearly excited about the future of the Oregon State football program, because new coach Gary Andersen officially introduced to Beaver Nation today.
And KEZI sports reporter Kristen Rogers is live in the studio with more on the new man in charge. Kristen.
Thanks, Matt and Renee. President Ed Ray isn't the only one who is happy about Beavers' new head coach Gary Andersen. OSU's athletic director Bob DeCarolis added that he's pumped, stoked, and amped about Gary Andersen. Andersen was officially welcomed by a large crowd in Corvallis earlier today. Andersen spent his last 2 years at Wisconsin, leading them to a 10-win season this fall. Before that, he built up Utah State, leaving them on an 11-win season in 2012. Andersen says he will add that same toughness to Oregon State.
If you're not fighting to win a championship, if you're not fighting to go out and win the Civil War, then you're in the wrong business, in my opinion. So we're excited about doing that, moving forward. As a great opportunity for us. Let me talk a little bit about the football side of things. Our beliefs on, as a whole, as a program, is to be aggressive in everything we do. We want to take the field aggressively. We want to play better in the fourth quarter than we did in the first quarter. Okay, we want to attack the classroom aggressively. We want to attack our social lives aggressively. So as a program, that is a goal. We want to be aggressive in everything that we do.
Andersen's contract with Oregon State is set for 6 years with a base salary of $2.45 million. And coming up at 6:30, we talked with a few of the players about their initial thoughts on their new head coach. In the studio, Kristen Rogers, KEZI 9 Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new coach of Oregon State Beavers, Gary Andersen.
Well, the Gary Andersen era is officially underway at Oregon State. It's been a hectic few hours for the Beavers' new head coach, but Andersen was not without energy during his introduction today. Before touching down in Corvallis very early this morning, Andersen spent his last 2 years at Wisconsin, leading them to a 10-win season this fall. Before that, he built up Utah State, leaving them on an 11-win season in 2012. Andersen won't meet with his new players until after the break, but he did say that he wants to foster a tight-knit group with them as quickly as possible.
I want this football program to be a family, but you don't walk in the door and all of a sudden say, okay, guys, trust me, okay? I know you trust me. I'm going to be there for you. I can say that, but I got to earn that. Whatever adversity comes our way, we're going to be able to handle it because we can bond ourselves together and communicate. But that takes time, and I'm going to let them know. I know that takes time, but trust me on it. And I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to give them what they need. I'm going to hug them hard when it's good, and if it's wrong, we're going to get it fixed.
Andersen is known as a defensive mind. He was the defensive coordinator at Utah from 2005 to 2008. And at Wisconsin, he compiled a top 10 defense both years as head coach. Offensively, Andersen said today that he would like to open up the offense a bit more. That being said, players on both sides of the ball say they are very excited about their new head coach's philosophy on the field.
I knew he's a great coach. I mean, obviously won 10 games this year. You know, 10 games is hard to do in any level of football. So, I mean, he's a proven winner. So, I mean, I'm excited to have him here.
Definitely a defensive coach. You know, the aggressiveness is, is always a word that I like to involve myself with, aggressiveness. And so even when I take the field, I want to be aggressive. And so, with that being said, having a head coach like that, what better honor to be able to play for a coach of such.
Our coverage of the Heisman ceremony presented by Bimart continues, and we're going back to New York City where we find our Mike Scow. Mike, we heard from the other finalists, but it's never too early to hear what the Ducks' next opponent has to say about the Heisman favorite.
Kristen, 24 hours from now, we should be talking about Marcus Mariota as the Oregon Ducks' first ever Heisman winner. At a press conference earlier today, as you said, we spoke to the two other finalists, Alabama's Amari Cooper and Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon. They both spoke about Marcus's personality and what their impressions are of him. Florida State head coach Jimbo Fisher, who will coach against the Ducks in the semifinals of the college football playoff, described the Flying Hawaiian as a complete player on the field.
Well, I think he's dynamic. One, he's a leader. When you see the guys follow him, you see the energy create, you see that he is a winner. I mean, when they had so many different line combinations, all the things going on, he was still the constant that was there. And when he creates so many things for them, I mean, as a player, not only when he's in the pocket making the throws or he's reading the quarterback zone or the runs they have designed for him, but managing the team, processing the team. You can tell when a guy's in total control of his offense, and he definitely is that.
These times I'm about to tell you are all West Coast times, but here's the plan for the rest of tomorrow, really. It's Saturday, the Heisman Trophy presentation. Coming up at 3 o'clock, Marcus is expected to be part of a press conference with the other two finalists. The Heisman announcement is expected to happen at 5:50 Eugene time. We will continue to have coverage tomorrow of Marcus Mariota's journey to the Heisman Trophy in New York City. Mike Scow, KZI 9 Sports.
Thanks, Mike. In volleyball today, both the Ducks and the Beavers were eliminated in the Sweet 16. The Ducks lost 3 sets to North Carolina. The Beavers also lost 3-1 to top-ranked Stanford. Tough loss for the Beavers and the Ducks, volleyball-wise, but great gain for the Beavers football-wise and possibly for the Ducks tomorrow, too, with the Flying Hawaiian.
Yeah, I want to point out that announcement at 5:50, and then if he wins, if Marcus wins, they're going to shuttle him across the street, as I understand. He'll have a live press conference at 6:30, and we'll bring that for you live here on KZI 9 News. So
yes,
a big day tomorrow.
It really is a big, exciting day.
And look at you and I, this big day for Oregon State and Marcus. And what are we doing? We're wearing green and purple, and for Oregon State, we don't have any orange on. What are we thinking?
Next week we'll wear orange every day. That might be maybe
Gary Andersen has already added a lot of
orange in the closet.
Gary Andersen already has that orange down to his wardrobe, and he has a white visor, a la Lane Kiffin back at USC. That was pretty sweet.
He brings some fire to the table. I like his attitude.
He definitely does. He's aggressive. He's family oriented. He's ready to go. It's gonna be a great next few years. I'm excited for it.
Good.